And sometimes very small things make a big improvement. So, this is now, once Killian and I have beat around all the designs and tried to improve everything, we're talking the whole time with Joel Aaron. And when I know I'm going to direct an episode, like a season finale, I'll be talking to Joel for several months ahead of time before we ever even get to the episode. Yeah, a lot. And one of the things I wanted to do, I told Joel, was we're going back to the planet Florum. I really didn't like the way Florum was executed the first time we went there, in the Gungan General and in County We Captured. So when we go back to that planet, it has to be better. And I was talking about, I want the surface of the planet to be more cracked, I want more detail. These organic environments in the Clone Wars, they have to get better. Standards have gone up in feature film a lot, they have to go up in our TV series. And these are some of the concept designs, the paintings that we did. Hondo's pirate lair, I wanted to be more like a big Sanford and Son set, where the logic was that he had been stealing or pirating all this gear because of the Clone Wars. There's more military hardware readily available than there ever has been. So we broke up models, cracked spaceships, put junk there, and basically made it look like a big universal backyard. I mean, you can expand on that.
Yeah, we took parts from gunships, barrels, anything we put in there, just like Dave said. It had to look similar to a junkyard. Especially for the inside of Hondo's office, we really wanted to look a lot like Dave's office.
I said I want it to be a mess. I want Hondo to look like he has a whole bunch of crap in there. Go up to my office and take some pictures, because I have all these Hasbro's right now, the big AT-ATs sitting on my desk, and you did, and you did a really good job.
Due to constraints of like how much we had to render, we actually had to take stuff out of Hondo's office.
Yeah.
Make it look messy.
Slave One. This was of all the things that George will comment about when he comments about designing the show. He'll be very specific about certain things, and he and I argued, and you and I argued about the scale of about the scale of Slave One. How big is that ship? And the problem was that when you watch Boba load the Carbonite in Slave One in Empire, it's actually a different scale than the one in Attack the Clones. Correct? Am I correct?
No,
I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. What actually happened was that the miniature that George is probably most familiar with for Empire has a way bigger Boba
In the contract.
Even in that map thinking.
When you look in the archive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for him that was the scale. He had sort of said that as that's how big Slave One is, but for our story you needed to.
But it's amazing how he seized on it.
Yeah.
He was constantly honest about the scale of that ship.
Yeah.
And we went down to the archive. We can get the actual model out that they built.
Yeah.
And analyze it, look at it, and you see two different models. There's actually a different scale going on.
Yeah, and we actually looked at ILM's digital Slave One as well, so too, because they sort of had to work this stuff out before us as well.
But even then, the scale would keep changing.
Yeah.
I mean, even for shots, you would have to sometimes scale it down a little bit just to fit the composition, or scale it up.
Well, yeah, but that's for fancy movies, Joel.
I know.
It took a while to learn I couldn't screw
Joel's
it up.
actually a 17-year veteran of Industrial Light and Magic, and now I have him on our television show, which is really exciting. But you know, in a movie, you can build specifically for the shot. In the Clone Wars, if we build Slave One has to work for whatever we're going to do with it in the future, because we won't have time to build another one. We don't have time to rescale it. So even the interior of Slave One, we had to figure out to some degree, which proved to be a lot more difficult than we thought, with the reorientation of the cockpit. And it actually does rotate and move, but we just never shot it because it was so complex.
Yeah, Pat Resney actually worked out how the 3 seats on the lower level work. And even then, we still had stuff to do, like at the last minute, that sort of radar dish at the top became an airlock, because there needed to be an airlock on the show. But there's no airlock on Slave One, so we were sort of scratching our heads. Is there anywhere on the ship where you could put a circular door that kind of works? And that just turned out, actually worked out really well. Yeah,
right up there.
Thanks, John.
So, lighting concepts. Once the designs have been done,